So a little miracle is about to enter your life. It's a wondrous time full of joyous expectations and memories you want to last a lifetime, as well as every goddamn person and their mother giving you advice on how to raise your new little bundle of joy. But the thing is, there are a few things that people don't tell you. I'm here today to tell you 5 things that no one ever tells you about parenting. Fucking zombie eyes. Now me, I was lucky. I was told about this one in advance, but let me tell you, the first time you see this, you will absolutely shit yourself. Imagine the scenario. It's 10 p.m, your little bundle of joy and wonder has been asleep for more than 20 minutes. You know feeding time is going to be coming up soon. You think, I should probably go check. I should probably go have a look and take in my little darling angel, my wondrous little bundle of happiness. You sneak into that darkened room, you peer over the edge of the cot, and good lord and fuck, they're possessed by the devil. It's completely normal. It's not unusual. You've probably seen your pets do it. But my God, the first time you look down at your child, that beautiful little angelic shadow of a being, it is fucking weird when they are just staring at you with the whites of their eyes. You get used to it, but my God. Now this second point is for the darling, loving partners of the new and wondrous mother. This woman has pushed a child into the world. She has given birth. And so she may be just that little bit too tired to handle the situation. You can understand that. It's an exhausting time for any new mother. So what you may find, husbands, partners, whatever the case, when your new mother is breastfeeding through the night, it happens. I'm sorry to talk about such a taboo subject, but it fucking happens, people. Sometimes they are just too tired. You might have this expectation they are going to wake up, they are going to sit in their feeding chair, and they're going to cradle their little bundle of joy all night long, and when they are finished feeding, they're going to put them down, and the mother, the graceful, beautiful woman that she is going to lay back down into the bed and just go to sleep, perfectly set, like nothing ever happened. Well, guess what? That doesn't happen, fellas. You are going to wake up at least once in your lifetime and find that your baby is hanging off your woman's tit while she sleeps through the night. It happens. It's cool. It's perfectly natural. What you've got to do in this situation, fellas, is not judge. Is not be unusual. You've got two very good options now. You can either pick up your little bundle of wondrous joy and happiness and lay them down in their cot, ready to sleep. Possibly cover up your wonderful partner who has given birth to this brand new miracle of life. Or you can do what I used to do, to be honest with you, and is just leave them be, go downstairs, wake yourself up and be prepared for that time that the coffee needs to be made, because that woman is going to need you. But do not freak out. It is perfectly normal to see a lady lying down with her boobs still hanging out and the baby still hanging off of it. They're asleep. No, it doesn't matter. Get used to it. Now this is the one that I think a lot of people are going to be somewhat prepared for, or at least they think they are. It's one of those moments that you think, everybody tells me about this, it's toilet accidents. Let me give you 2 words that you are going to need to know throughout the rest of your parenting life, especially the early stages, but it does happen early on as well. Shit everywhere. It happens at the worst possible time, the time that you least expect it. Okay, that time may be when you've decided to take your little bundle of joy and happiness out onto the town. Maybe you're just going to go see a movie, or maybe you're going to have a little coffee with the ladies. Maybe a trip round the shopping mall. It's not something you get to do much anymore now that you are constantly exhausted from having to feed this little bundle of joy and happiness. You think you're prepared. You show up, you have your coffee, and then comes flying out. But you see, you wondrous mothers out there, you wondrous fathers out there, you are fully prepared for this one, aren't you? You take them to the changing room. You clean up everything all the way up the back. That is a problem. Sometimes they get it all the way down into their socks. No, I don't know how. They actually get it into their socks. But you're prepared. You wipe them down. You pull out the 32 packets of baby wipes that you knew you were going to need for this trip. You clean up your baby, you make them look nice and lovely, and those crappy clothes, they either go into a nappy bag or they just go in the bin. Doesn't really matter. You put on these brand new fresh clothes, they look wonderful, they look joyous. You rejoin your friends, you rejoin your shopping trip, and you think, do you know what, I've achieved this, and well done you. Well done you. You just averted disaster. You just averted, what the fuck does averted mean? You just averted a crisis. Well done you, but it's not those moments I talk about. Those moments can be unexpected. Those moments can be troublesome, but you usually have a plan. You usually have a bag full of equipment that you may need. Maybe some air freshener. Who knows, just in case it's in the car. That's a good idea, by the way. Puke happens in a car. Shit happens in a car. If you drive a lot, you probably want to keep some air fresheners in. Just saying. No, I'm not talking about those moments where you took that situation, you handled it like a fucking boss. No, I'm talking about the situations that happen when you really don't expect it. I'm talking about those situations that happen completely out of the blue. Take scenario number 1, for example. You're waking up, it's early morning, the crows have not even crowed yet, the seagulls are still quiet, the robins still safely tucked into their nest, the sun has just about started to pip over the horizon. Maybe it's 4 a.m, maybe it's 5, maybe it's even 6 if it's the winter time. You know exactly the kind of time I mean, the time where it's not quite light, but it isn't quite dark yet. It's not morning, but it's no longer night. Those times. You open your bleary eyes after a good night's sleep. You know something is wrong. That parental instinct in there is kicking in right now, and you know something isn't quite right. And you look over at your little bundle of joy and happiness and wonder and angelic behavior. And it's everywhere. 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 Somehow that little bundle of joy and happiness and wondrous excitement and love and cuddles has decided to wake up before you. God knows what time of the night. Could have been 2, could have been 3, could have been 4. Who knows? You were snoring your little head off. They were sleeping through the night. You thought this was perfect. This is probably going to happen when they're at their toddler stage. About 2 years old is probably the best time to be expecting of this one. Apparently they have reached down into their satchel in the evening and they have pulled out what they have found to be a new art material. A brand new art material that they can use to create the masterpiece of what a canvas they have. Just imagine the wall, the very wall behind your head is a blank canvas for them to spread and do some finger painting, maybe some Picasso style shit all over the wall. And that's not all. Look at the sheets beneath them, those sheets that can be folded once you are done creating your masterpiece. Fold them over, you've got a brand new canvas. Imagine if you were unlucky, as somebody I maybe once knew, to have the kid in a travel cot at the time. That mesh, oh, they can spread it along the mesh. It's like a fucking cheese grater. But then there's, of course, their favourite canvas. Themselves. When you wake up and your little bundle of joy and happiness and wonder and excitement and love is staring at you with that gorgeous little look in their eyes that says, Mummy, Daddy, I'm awake and I love you and I missed you and I'm hungry, then they're covered in shit. Looks like they've just put their face in the mud. Now you smell it and you look at them and you think, in all your confusion and anger and fear, how the fuck are they not more upset about this? Be prepared. Shit everywhere. Now you see, one thing you may be prepared for is the young ones. Some people, you may actually have some real advice. Maybe you've taken in something I've said or something some other reality parenting blogger has said. And by the way, good on you people out there for really painting the picture how it is, because I could have used that when I was out there. Woo-hoo-hoo. But you're expecting that once. If you're lucky in your life to have some grandparental figures, some older generation people that have had their children, your parents maybe, or your guardians, or some older people that you think can help you, can be there for you, support, they're the ones that sneak up on you. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're lucky enough to have them, you are already prepared that grandparents, they spoil their grandchildren. This is a well-known fact. What you may fail to understand is just how fucking accurate that statement is. The thing that you don't see coming with the grandparents, especially if it is grandparents, it's your parents we're talking about here. What you don't understand, and it doesn't start straight away, it starts a little later on. It starts when your mind starts to come together, when you stop having the mental breakdown stage and you start piecing together how to be a half-decent parent, how to maybe just about make sure that this child doesn't turn out completely feral. It creeps in. Creeps in slowly over a number of years, slowly building up until you turn around and say to your mother or your father, especially your mother, believe me, when you say, I'm so sorry for the way I was for 15 fucking years. Guilt creeps up. Because there's one thing you learn as a parent yourself. There's one thing you come to understand. It's what your parents went through when you were being a little bastard on the way up to the adult years. Those moments when you decided to be a teenage tearaway and not make it home at night. That's the hell you were putting them through. Those moments when you decided at 6 years old that you were going to crap on the floor because you felt like it, or shove a marble up your brother's backside. I didn't do that. He shoved one down my throat. Let's make that very fucking clear. I don't know where that came from. I don't know. Run up the Capri Alley. Anyway. Oh, fuck. You find that through all the things you go through, all those sleepless nights, all those stressful days, all those days you think, I can't do this, all those days you think, well, I've got this problem, and I've got that problem, I've got this problem, finances, bills, adult life, all that other nonsense comes at you, and you just go, how the hell did my mother, how the hell did my father, my foster parents, my guardians, my big brother, how the hell did they handle that? Because they did. You didn't realise, when you were growing up, how much they went through, and they never let you know. They never let you know anything. And that overwhelming sense of guilt, because no matter how good of a child you were trouble at one point or another. You were stressful at one point or another. You will have that point as a parent where you feel like you are breaking down, and then you sit back and you go, how the hell did my mum handle this? Imagine the situation that, say, maybe someone I know may have been in, where you were far worse as a child than your own child is right now, and that stress and that struggle you feel right now couldn't have been anything compared to what they were going through. You spend half of your first few years of parenting apologizing to your parents. Believe you me, you come to understand something. You come to understand just how wonderful they are. You knew that already. If you are lucky enough to have them in your life, if you are lucky enough to have them around, you already know how wonderful they are. Because by this stage in your life, by your adult stage in your life, you've come to respect your parents. You've come to love them. You've come to understand that they are the most vital force in your entire life. Or whoever was the main guardian for you growing up, you understand that. But you don't understand just what they went through raising you. You don't understand the struggle they went through raising you until you've done it yourself. And you will apologize. That's not all it goes for, because while you're feeling all that guilt, while you're feeling all that strain and all that repetitiveness and all that feeling like you've lost the words and you haven't got an idea where you are in your script, well, the thing is, you will never understand just how much it means to have them around until you're calling your mother at 11 o'clock in the evening because the baby warmer doesn't work, or 5 o'clock in the morning because they won't shut the actual fuck up. You'll come to find that the older generation is an invaluable source of information and support. In fact, if you're really lucky, especially if your parents are around, they might even take your little baby off your hands for you so you can go and get some sleep, get some rest. Seems like a wonderful idea, doesn't it? But the problem is that's where the real issues start. That's where the other side of the double-pronged sword. The double-pronged sword? What the fuck is a double-pronged sword, you fucking idiot? That's where the other end of the double-edged sword is. That's where the double-edged... Oh, for fuck's sakes. That's where the other end of that double-ended sword comes in. They get to use their 20-plus years of parenting experience and actually apply it to your little bundle of wonder and joy. Well, you get to have the night off. Maybe you go on a date night. Maybe you go see a movie, have a bottle of wine. Maybe you get to play that video game you've wanted to play, or just sit down, have a book, maybe have a nice warm bath without it being interrupted. That, gotta sound lovely, hasn't it? If you haven't had one of them for 6 months, a year maybe, you haven't had that time away to just enjoy yourselves. That is the greatest gift they can give you, right? That is until you get them back the next day. As Grandma tells you how wondrous and joyous this little bundle of happiness and excitement and love has been. You sit there wondering just what kind of fucking magic they possess to be able to pull that one off. Grandma then proceeds to unveil exactly 7 sweets. She then hands these sweets to your wonderful little bundle of joy and happiness and excitement. And now you are in a catch-22 situation, aren't you? Because Grandma has been absolutely wonderful. Grandma has been amazing. Grandma has taken care, so you could have that night off, and maybe even have a lie-in. But the child, now this is where their smarts kick in, because they know that you know that the sweets are there. They know that they have the power now. They're in control, baby! So, you are now forced into that situation where you have absolutely no willpower to deny them, so you let them have their sugary, exciting, chocolatey sweets. And then after grandmother leaves, leaving this bundle of joy and happiness and wonder and excitement and adrenaline behind. And then you find out something very, very important. So as the sugar high dies down, you realise that they are extra tired thanks to all that energy they used up at grandmother's the day before. How did they become so tired, you ask? Well, let me tell you. See, grandmother knows what she's doing. Grandmother is smart. Grandmother spends her time taking care of your little bundle of joy and happiness. But it's when grandma is off in the kitchen making that child a nutritious meal, a wonderful meal, a meal that they know they'll eat, because that grandmother knows what she's doing. She knows how to make something that tastes good, something that they'll eat, something they'll enjoy, but is also beneficial to their system. But while grandmother is out doing that, it's granddad's turn to step in, isn't it? And now granddad is a different creature. Now see, granddad will literally let the child run up the walls while firing chocolate pellets from his Freedom Cannon directly into the child's mouth before washing him down with a sugar wash. Such as the role of the man who has less restrictions than he had with you. Of course, then there's the deception, because he'll tell Young'un not to tell grandma. And such is the special bond between a grandparent and a grandchild that Young'un will keep stum, especially once that Young'un is old enough to know that if he keeps his mouth quiet, he'll get double because he'll get something from grandma too. That is how your child learns deception, ladies and gentlemen. Granddad sends them loopy and then sends them back to you. Thing is, you couldn't live without them. And then there's all that guilt. See, the one other thing you won't learn until you're there, the final thing that I have on my list today, is those perfect fucking parents. Now, any parent out there knows exactly what I'm talking about, and those who are yet expecting, those who are yet to have their child go to school, all those other things, you will come to learn it when you're standing there in the afternoon at 3 o'clock, standing at the school gates, having a chat with the other parents, having a little chin wag, and they sit there and go, oh yes, well, Mary woke up at 6 o'clock this morning, she fed herself her breakfast, got dressed for school before I'd even had time to brush my teeth. Oh really, did Mary do that? Oh, and what about little Billy? Little Billy learned to toilet train himself at the age of 18 months without any problems whatsoever, never even so much as wet his pants. How fucking wonderful for you. All of this while you sit there listening to these little tales, and you sit there thinking, well, this morning I just about managed to put my pants on the right way around before I looked down and saw my little bundle of joy and happiness and wonder and excitement running around, somehow managing to get a piece of toast stuck between his ass cheeks. The thing is, you got to remember about these people is there are two types of them. The first type, they are just lucky. They do have the perfect little angelic child. Those angelic children always turn up to be arsehole teenagers, so good luck with that. The other type, of course, are lying out of their arsehole. The truth about those people is they found a brush shoved in the butler this morning as while the baby was being sick all over the television set. That's the reality of life. Either way, you hate these fucksticks. Now, of course, some of you may be thinking, I don't know what he's on about. I don't know this. That everybody I speak to is perfectly fine. Well, either you need to get off of Denial Street and take a left into Reality Avenue, because come on, or bitch, it's you. And my point may be a little harsh. Sometimes maybe we make assumptions without ever actually having spoken to these people. Maybe we're judging them on the way they dress. Or maybe on the way the child behaves. Look, I'm not perfect. I've done it before. I've judged people based on the fact that their child walks around talking like they're from fucking Eton when they were born in bloody Manchester. Maybe, just maybe sometimes, the parent in question is actually wonderful and has all of this bollocks figured out, and well done to you. Maybe if you can tell me what bloody training course you went on to learn all of that, that would be absolutely fantastic, because most of us don't know what we're doing, and I don't think we ever will. And the thing is, be honest, because most afternoon schoolgate friendships are built on the fact that we are honest about the truth, and the truth is that this is the best thankless job in the world. I say all of this to you, all of these 5 points, because we need to be honest with ourselves, and the quicker you admit that it's okay to fuck up, the better you will be, and the more you will appreciate the little moments in life, the good ones. So there you have it. There are 5 things that I think parents should definitely know before accepting their little bundles of wonder and joy and happiness and love and affection and love and other... They're devils. They really are. They really are. Those are the 5 things I think you should know before becoming a parent. Do you have any stories of your own or any advice to upcoming parents? Drop them in the comment section below, and if they're any good, I might feature them in a future video. You never know, we might do one of these based on fan Fan ideas. I do like that idea very, very much. Outside of that, if you did happen to enjoy this video, if you happen to enjoy this new style of content from me, this little bit more excitable, up and down, no more gaming, let's just have some fun, then hit some likes. Hit the like. Click that little thumbs up button. And if this does happen to be your first time here, make sure you click the subscribe button. We'll be back with weekly videos about life in general, while we say it's okay to be a fuck up. Ladies and gentlemen, take care of yourselves, and I will catch you later.